What's up, guys? In this video, I'm gonna teach you how to make this lemon sour cream pound cake completely from scratch. This is homemade. As you guys can see, I am confident if you watch this video until the end, you'll be able to make a lemon sour cream pound cake on your own. Doesn't matter if you're good at baking or not. I'm going to break it down in simple instructions that you should be able to follow. So if you enjoy this video, make sure you guys like and subscribe. And also, if you want more pound cake recipes like the one you're getting ready to see here, my pound cake ebook will be in my bio, and you can go ahead and check that out. Without further ado, let's jump into the video.
Okay, let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing you want to do is make sure that your eggs are room temperature, your butter is room temperature, your sour cream is room temperature. And when I mean room temperature, that means you feel no type of cold on any of those eggs, butter, or sour cream. If you're not sure, let it stay out for a minimum of 3 hours. Also, I got my lemon pudding mix, and I'm going to put that to the side. And now we're going to work on our sugar. This is 3 cups of sugar, and I'm zesting in 1 lemon. I'm going to make sure I get all of the lemon. You don't want any of that white puffy stuff. Just take your time at this point, because the more lemon zest you have in here, the more lemon flavor will be in your final pound cake. So you just make sure you take your time with this part. And as you can see, I'm trying to get everything all around the lemon, and then I'm taking the lemon and then I'm squeezing the juice, as much juice as I can. This lemon had no seeds in it, but if yours have seeds in it, you might want to kind of pick those out, or kind of put one hand under the lemon. And we're going to need half of the juice of 1 lemon for the pound cake, and then the rest is going to be for our frosting that we're going to put on top of the cake, or glaze. Okay, so now we're going to sift our flour. This is 3 cups of white lily all-purpose flour. Now you can use cake flour, but I prefer using white lily all-purpose flour because of the crust that you're going to see at the end. But you can use cake flour. It's just depending on what type of texture you want. This cake is going to be plenty of soft. It don't need to be extra soft from cake flour, but of course you can use what you have. Once you have fully sifted your flour, then we're going to place this to the side and then add in half of our pudding mix. We're also going to add in a half teaspoon of salt and a half teaspoon of baking powder. Make sure you mix this well throughout the flour. This is going to make sure that your cake is properly salted well, because salt does make a difference in baking, and that your baking powder is going to be effective in this particular cake. So just make sure it's sifted properly and it's mixed together well. All right, last but not least, before we get to mixing, we're going to add in some lemon juice to our sour cream, and we're going to give that a full little mix. You want to be careful so that you don't spill any of the juice of the sour cream juice on the counter like I did. But just mix it really well until it's combined. And doing this is, one, going to make sure that you don't forget to add the lemon juice in the cake at the end when we're doing the flour and stuff. But adding the lemon juice to the sour cream helps it emulsify better, which is going to be better for your cake. All right, now that we got through all of those pre-steps, let's get to mixing. So now I have 3 sticks of butter, and this is room temperature butter. If you want to make sure that your butter is room temperature, put your finger in there, and if it makes the indent, it is room temperature. Like I said, you don't want your butter to be sweating. You don't want your eggs to be sweating, because that means it is still cold, and cold eggs will mess up your cake, and your cake is probably more likely to fall if your eggs are cold. So just make sure they're room temperature. But I'm adding my eggs to a bowl. Now this is about 6 eggs going into this cake. I know some old pound cakes can go up to 10 eggs, and I know new modern pound cakes these days do around 5. But now we're going to beat our lemon sugar and our butter together till it's white and fluffy. This is going to take around 7 minutes in your mixer. Now if you're using a hand mixer, it might move a little bit faster because you're able to move your hands around. I'm using my mixer with the paddle attachment and the side sweeper, so I don't have to stop and scrape down my bowl. But if you don't have that, you will have to stop and scrape down your bowl. So make sure you guys do that to make sure everything is incorporated. And while my butter and sugar is beating together, I'm going to get my homemade lemon extract, and I'm going to add a little bit to my egg so I don't forget to add it during the flour mixer. So I'm going to turn my mixer down to low, and I'm adding in my eggs one at a time. I wait until the egg fully incorporates into the butter and sugar before adding the next egg. You don't want to see any type of yellow yolk, before adding in your next egg. You also don't want to overbeat this, because if you overbeat this could make your cake fall. Mixing your eggs on anything higher than low speed on your mixer will add air to your yolks, and it will make your cake kind of rise up, and then it'll fall once your cake cools. This can cause your cake to sink, and if it doesn't sink, it will have gluey streaks. So that's why it's important for you guys to mix this on low speed so that doesn't happen to your cake. Definitely follow these instructions. I've had a lot of emails and a lot of calls from people who have done this, and the number one thing that they've done was mix the eggs on a higher speed than low. So you see me almost done with adding in my eggs one at a time. I'm making sure that I see no yolk before I add in the next one. That's how I can know that it's fully incorporated. And again, I do have the side sweep on my paddle attachment on this mix, so I don't have to scrape down my bowl. But if you are mixing this by hand, or if you're mixing this with a mixer without the side sweeper, definitely get a spatula and kind of side sweep and make sure everything is well combined. And you can see I'm still doing it even though I have the side sweeper. So once I scrape down my bowl, I'm giving it another about 5 to 10 seconds on low speed before I'm ready to move on to my next ingredients. Now here comes the important part. What we're going to do is add in our flour mixture first. So that's the flour, the pudding mix, the salt, the baking powder. You want to make sure that you start and end with your flour mixer. This is non-negotiable. If you do not want any gluten streaks, definitely do this. This is the only way that I know to avoid that. Other than the tips that I gave you earlier in this video, this is one of the most important steps. So you can see me alternating. Now I'm adding in the sour cream and lemon juice mixture that I mixed together at the beginning of the video. And I have my mixer on low speed, and I'm only mixing for about 5 seconds before alternating to the next ingredient. This is super important. You don't want to overwork your batter because your pound cake could be tough. Just think light and fluffy and you'll be fine. So you see me constantly alternating between the flour and the sour cream. And like I said, I'm only mixing for at least 5 seconds, and sometimes it's a little bit lesser than that. But as you can see, now I'm alternating with the sour cream. And like I said, you want to begin and end with flour. This is going to be super easy for you guys to do at this point. And just like with the eggs, you don't want to go higher than low speed because it will mess up your cake. Now you can see me transferring to a spoon instead of just pouring it in there. It gives me a lot more leverage, and it helps me keep the size of my bowl clean. And we're going to continue to alternate back and forth till we end with flour. This is going to be a pretty lengthy process because you can't go higher than low speed. And for me, I stopped in the middle of this part to kind of finish mixing the rest of the flour mixture on my own, just to protect myself from gluten streaks. I know gluten streaks are not the end of the world. You probably can still taste the cake and the cake will still taste good. But for me, I wanted to stop a little early. So before I added in my last scoop of flour mixture, I stopped, kind of scraped down my paddle attachment to get all that cake batter off of there. And I'm going to finish this by hand. That's just my personal preference, but I have never gone wrong with doing it this way. And doing it this way ensures that I do not over mix my batter. There's no way you can replace the mechanical force with your hands. So just mixing this in with a spatula is not going to hurt any. It's actually going to help you make sure everything is kind of well combined. And sometimes the butter and the sugar and the eggs can get stuck at the bottom, which is the main reason you want to do this by hand to end this off, because you can kind of tilt your bowl and then make sure everything is mixed in well combined, as you can see me doing right here. Now don't worry if it looks a little clumpy or it looks a little not mixed in well together, because when it hits the oven, it's going to be fine. It's going to combine just as fine. So you can see me tilting the bowl and just making sure everything at the bottom is in there. You are going to get a little bit on your fingers, but that's okay. You can just wipe that off. And this is just going to ensure that everything is combined. Now, the way that you can tell if you have a good pound cake batter is by using your spatula. And if you can kind of move it freely through your cake batter, then that means it is whipped to perfection. That means it has a lot of air, but it should also feel heavy and dense. That's what a pound cake is. It's heavy and dense, but it still has a light, fluffy cake texture. So if your pound cake batter is doing that, then you're already on a good track. So now I'm going to get my Nordic Ware Anniversary Bundt cake pan. Now you can use a tube pan if you would like, but I've baked literally hundreds of pound cakes in this pan. It has never done me wrong. And I'm using Pam's baking spray. I know a lot of people use Baker's Joy. Baker's Joy has always made my cake stick for some reason, and I have not had that problem with Pam's baking spray. So here's an optional tip to make sure that your cake comes out the pan and it doesn't get stuck. You can throw in your bundt pan after it's been greased into the freezer for about 30 minutes, and what that's going to do is seal in that coating and freeze it to the pan. So when you pour your pound cake mixture in there, it won't mix in with your cake batter, which can help you prevent it from sticking. So we're going to bake this cake on 325 for an hour and 30 minutes. Do not check your cake. Do not open the oven when this is baked. Trust that you did a good job. If you open up your oven, it's going to create temperature swings, which can make your cake fall. Just trust me. If you follow these instructions like I'm telling you, you will be fine. So once you take your cake out the oven, you want to let it cool for 10 minutes, and it should pop out just like that. You can see it has absolutely no stickage. And now it's time to make our lemon glaze. It's going to go on top of this lemon sour cream pound cake. So the first thing you want to do to prepare your lemon glaze is juice some lemons. You want to have a little tart taste to your your glaze is going to mix in well with the cake. So I think I used around 2 or 3 lemons, or about 1/3 cups of lemon juice. Then I'm going to go in with about 1/4 cups of heavy whipping cream. Now you can replace the whipping cream with milk if you want to. Now I'm going to sift in some powdered sugar. This is 1 cup of powdered sugar. Now if you want your glaze a little bit thicker, you want to add in more powdered sugar. If you want your glaze to be thinner, you want to add less powdered sugar. So as you can see, after adding in the powdered sugar, it's still a little looser than I would like. So I added some powdered sugar till I came to this consistency where it was pourable, but still a little thick. Get you a whisk and make sure it's well combined. And if you still see little specks, kind of add it to the microwave for about 30 seconds and then come back and then glaze your cake. But you don't want to have any of those lumps in there, which is why we sift the powdered sugar. So once I'm happy with the consistency of the glaze, I'm going to pour it on my cake. There's no right or wrong way to do this. You just want to pour it around your cake. Make sure you have some paper towels handy because it can drip off to the side. But I'm going to start with 1 coat and then I'm going to come back and reglaze my cake again with the 2nd coat, just to kind of make sure that it's glazed up to perfection. All of this is optional. Add as much or as less glaze as you want on your pound cake. And after that, let it set for about 10 minutes. And now you've completely made your lemon sour cream pound cake. Now you have a pound cake that you can share with your family and friends and they will love it. It is moist, it is tender, it is tangy, it is lemony. This lemon sour cream pound cake will definitely get you a lot of compliments if you baked it, and it'll be a family favorite from now on. If you enjoyed this video, give me a like and subscribe, and also my pound cake ebooks will be in my description.